We only have 5 more movies. We're in the final stretch. Yes, we are talking about the remakes of Halloween. After Halloween Resurrection failed so fucking badly in terms of fan response, Malak Akkad, not Mustafa Akkad, unfortunately Mustafa Akkad at that point had unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace. Where now his son Malak Akkad took over producer role of the Halloween franchise, and this is what he would be first producing, a remake. When they first announced that they were remaking Halloween from scratch, people are wondering who will have directorial role. Who would direct this film? Who would write this film? So many questions, so many answers. But one day we saw it was announced. This would be a Rob Zombie film. Now, if you know Rob Zombie, I've looked back at interviews before he made these remakes, and he said he didn't like the idea of remakes. He said that why remake something? Remake the original. You're just imitating the original, and there's no point in it. It's a cash grab. I don't understand how he says that and then proceeds to remake a horror classic such as Halloween. I just don't understand. Was it money? But Rob Zombie would disclose this very quickly. It wasn't because of the money. He could have went on tour and made 10 times the amount of money he would have made from making this movie. And yes, he's actually right about that. But that's still, I just don't understand what possessed him to make a remake after saying all he said about remakes. It's just baffling for me. But without getting out of the way, with knowing this is a Rob Zombie film, and Rob Zombie doesn't make bad movies when they're not Halloween based. Rob Zombie, I'm going to say this right now. Rob Zombie would have been perfect for a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Perfect. He would have been he fits it. His vision of films, it fits it perfectly. Perfectly. The Sawyer family, Sawyer family with Leatherface, all that. With Rob Zombie's vision, it could have worked with how he made his films. But no. It didn't end up that way. So you have to deal with him remaking a horror classic. So, how do you eliminate all the mystique of Michael Myers? How do you eliminate all that within the first 30 fucking minutes of the movie? Let's just tell a fucking origin story of a serial killer. Because that's what everybody wants to see. Rob Zombie said the reason why he did that because he wanted to do something new with Michael. And to that I can understand. But with doing that specifically, you're eliminating all the mystique of Michael Myers. And Michael Myers, as that kid, no offense to him, but damn, the way he's written, so fucking annoying. When Michael shuts up, that's when the movie gets good. So, I bet you're wanting to know how in the world does this movie start. We start with some redneck hillbilly trash shit. With William Forsythe's character spouting out shit about skull fucking people, yelling slurs, racist slurs, anything in the book you could think of. Anything you can think of, everything horrible that could be said within a first 5 minute period, it's said. So, yes, we established that Michael is in a borderline trash ass family. He has a slutty sister. I guess you could consider his mom slutty. And just an asshole for a dad figure. It's not his actual dad, but it's someone Deborah just saw, I don't know. Some bad father figure. As soon as Michael comes on screen, we see the early warning signs of a serial killer, where he's killing his own pet rat. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. And he lies to his mom about it, saying it just died, so he had to flush it down. Not saying the fact that he actually killed it himself. But that's besides the point. And Michael's slow. Well, it's not that slow if you really think about it. He is already showing signs from the very beginning that he is nuts. You start with Mans cutting into his pet rat. Or pet mouse. I forgot what kind of. He killed his pet, right? That's how you kick this movie off. Already showing the early warning signs. Because yes, that's something Rob Zombie did right. If you want to tell a story about an early warning signs, kid that's slowly going down the path of bad, yes, those are early warning signs when you're hurting animals, killing them, beating them up for no reason at all. Yes, those are the early warning signs. But why do we need this explained to us like we're deaf? But that's besides the point. Why do we need Michael's origin explained to us? I don't want to know why he became a killer. The reasons why I love the 1978 film so much when I did, it was because he was just a normal boy. He seemed like he was in a normal family, normal neighborhood, normal everything. And then this little boy just snaps. He just snaps one day. Kills his sister. With no explanation. No explanation. Did something take hold of this little boy? Did a demon possess this little boy? And ever since that, Michael had never said a word. Ever. If we're talking about the OG timeline, we'll get to Halloween 2. We get to Rob Zombie's Halloween. We'll get to that. I have a lot to say about that. But, yeah. So, one very big departure from the original is that Laurie Strode isn't the main character. Well, she's one of the protagonists for sure. But this movie is mostly about Michael. Because this movie focused on him for the first act into the second act. It did. He's the main character. He's the one we put most focus on. Michael was in this movie a lot. There's a lot of Michael in this movie. If we're including that kid, yes, there's a lot of Michael Myers in this movie. Yeah. We get Danielle Harris returning to the Halloween franchise since Halloween 5. That was a delight to see. She plays Annie, which, wow, sick. You got Scout Taylor Compton playing Laurie Strode. She does good. It's just not a Laurie Strode that I would prefer, but her acting is good. For what she's told to do, she does it perfectly. And then you got the big brute. Tyler Mane, playing your boy Michael Myers, the tallest Michael Myers actor in the Halloween franchise. This dude is like 6'7", 6'8", something like that. Dude looks like he's a titan. This dude is larger than life. Yes, I have to admit, he is the most intimidating Michael Myers. Is he my favorite Michael? No. But in terms of intimidation, absolutely the most intimidating Michael Myers of all time. If we're talking about Tyler Mane as Michael Myers. Not that kid. But this just begs the question, how did this average young boy turn into this almost 7 foot tall man? Especially while after being in an asylum for 15 years. Or Smith's Road Sanatorium. Asylum, sanatorium. Same difference. But he was locked up somewhere for 15 years. And he somehow grew that tall. That's besides the point. But, the best part of this movie is when Michael stops talking. And you have to block out the redneck hillbilly trash dialogue. You have to block it out. If you can block it out, you can actually enjoy this movie. After a while, I blocked it out. And when I did, this movie became way more enjoyable for me. So, let's get into the ending. And let's talk about what happens with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 before it comes out. So, Michael does his usual fucking thing, brutalizes everyone. Except he didn't really brutalize a lot of people in the original, but hey, that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Hey, it's a modern take, so you would expect a little bit more kills. So that was to be expected, of course. So it comes down to a chase between Michael and Laurie in Michael's house. Michael tackles Laurie off a balcony. Laurie somehow ends up on top of Michael. Don't know how that's fucking possible from the way they fell, but that's besides the point. But Laurie pulls the trigger on Michael's head. Michael helps her with it. Yes, Michael helps her with it. He doesn't grab her and then like yank her arm away so she couldn't shoot him. No. He just holds it still. He steadies it for her so he can shoot her. It's almost like Michael himself. He's like, I'm done. I want to die. It's almost Michael himself. It's assisted suicide. Yes, it's assisted suicide. You can't convince me otherwise. He just held her. He steadied it for her. He didn't move it so she couldn't shoot him. He just held it there. How is that not assisted suicide? I don't understand. But after that, we got Laurie screaming. The classic Halloween theme plays, and it goes into the Rob Zombie version. That was sick. I give Rob Zombie that. That was sick. Yeah, so let's talk about what happens before Halloween 2. Rob? So, before this movie came out, there were like interviews with Rob Zombie. Tyler Mane was there sometimes, but Rob Zombie always made it explicitly clear. There is going to be a sequel to Rob Zombie's film. 100%. That was guaranteed. But Rob Zombie himself said he wasn't going to direct the sequel. Dude, you legit said you weren't going to remake a movie. You said you hated remakes, and look what you did. You think we're going to believe you? And then we find out, yep, he's directing the second movie after he said he wouldn't. There's no way he didn't do it for money. He tries to say, oh, being on tour will make him more money, which is true, but I just don't understand this lying, deceiving bullshit. How you say you don't like this, and then you say you're not going to do this, and then you go ahead and do it. But you must be wondering, what is my final rating for Halloween 2007, the Rob Zombie remake? if you can, personally, I skip the first act. I go to when it's 15 years later. I play the last scene of Michael killing his sister, and then I just play the movie throughout that. Because that's really all you fucking need for Michael as a kid. Just him killing his sister. And maybe, I guess added the boyfriend for, just for the body count, The boyfriend didn't die in the original, so it's just added to the body count. So, my final rating for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007, I give this may shock a lot of people, but I give it a 6 out of 10. Yes, it is better than Halloween 5, Halloween 6, and Halloween Resurrection. Yes, I said it. That might be a very bold take. Very bold take. But I learned how to block out the crazy redneck nonsense. And I learned how to watch the movie right. You could say, oh, you gotta watch... No, I don't watch the whole movie. I go to the part where Michael's about to kill his sister and the boyfriend. That's what I do, and I play the movie throughout that. Because that's really all you need. All you need. And you skip all the scenes of Michael screaming like a little brat. So, 6 out of 10. It's a below average movie. A very below average movie. But I don't think it's one of the worst. I don't. Do I prefer this over Halloween Ends? No. I can tolerate Halloween Ends more than this, 100%. But, yeah. So, I'll see you guys for the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 review.